Good evening, everyone. So last week we did blood circulatory system revision, and as a small correction, I think question number 16 about abnormal decrease of WBC. It should be corrected as in abnormal increase of WBC. That is the third answer, right? So the last week I think by mistake and I have marked the fourth answer. It should be third answer, right? Then today we have to start the last question of this paper, the essay type question. This is from 2019 oral paper, essay type question from the blood circulatory system, question number 5. Now you get question number 5 for the system lesson because number of periods allocated in your syllabus actually with compared the other lessons for the system lesson more, right, than from the other lessons. Therefore contribution from the system lessons to your oral science paper is more than from the other units. That's why you get MCQs also from the system lessons, and you are getting essay type questions also. Sometimes you can get about 3 systems out of the 7 systems. So this is from the blood circulatory system. Most of the papers they will never ask you to draw the structure of the heart, or mostly they ask questions like labeling the diagram, given diagram, identification of the parts, like that. Please try to join on time. Still there are many students in the waiting room, and please join with the correct name code. Now today is the last class. Now this month there are 5 Fridays. Today is 29th of April, and next month also you'll be having Saturdays and Fridays the paper classes until I think second week, but anyway you'll be having seminars also. I'll confirm, I'll send you a WhatsApp group the dates for the seminars, right? Okay. Question number 2, figure 1 represent the line diagram of the internal structure of the human heart. Label the parts A, B, C, D. Parts A, B, C, D. Now remember this capital A carries blood towards the heart from the upper region of your heart, from the upper part of your heart. That is called the superior vena cava. Capital A, superior vena cava. Those who have done, you can mark the answers with the red pen. And capital B, that carries blood towards the lungs. Capital B towards the body from the left ventricle, that is aorta. C will be pulmonary artery. It's get divided towards the left and the right lung. I'll write near the diagram itself. You have to label the parts A, B, C, D. Capital A, superior vena cava. Anterior vena cava. Capital A, superior vena cava. Then B will be aorta, aorta, and C will be pulmonary artery. C will be pulmonary artery. A is B. Pulmonary artery, aorta carries oxygenated blood towards the organs of the heart, and C will be pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery carries blood towards the lungs, that is C here. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood or blue blood. I'll write here blue. I'll highlight these two blue because it contain blue blood or deoxygenated blood. Aorta contain red blood, that is oxygenated blood or red blood towards the body. So red ones, the ones that I highlighted red, it contains oxygenated blood or red blood away from the heart by B, then towards the heart by C and A. C away from the heart, A towards the heart. Both contain deoxygenated blood. Then capital D, I'll put an arrow separately. D, that is the pulmonary. D, I'll write this separately. That is pulmonary vein. D is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood or red blood from the lungs towards the heart. From the lungs towards the heart. Okay, so two of these carries oxygenated blood, the other two carries deoxygenated blood. So that is D here. Next one. So that is the answer for the part 1. Please raise the hand those who got all 4 parts correct. Right, very good. Nearly 50 students, around 20. Okay. Then part 2. When comparing with the composition of blood flowing through D, what is the main difference in the composition of blood flowing through C? That means D and C, what can you say about the composition of blood? So one change, so I told you D contains oxygenated blood or red blood. That's why I highlighted this red. D contains oxygenated blood or D contains higher concentration of oxygen. But they are asking the main difference in the composition of blood flowing through C. One change, C contain low oxygen concentration. C contain deoxygenated blood or more low oxygen concentration, or you can write more carbon dioxide. Any of this correct? C you can write more oxygen, more. C contains low oxygen concentration or more carbon dioxide. So you can write here deoxygenated blood is C, but D contain oxygenated blood. Here deoxygenated blood in C. And oxygenated blood in D. Or you can write, instead of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood, you can write high CO2 concentration. Deoxygenated blood means less CO2, more CO2. Less O2, more CO2. And oxygenated blood in D. Oxygenated blood in D. Right. Next one, part 3. There are many alternative answers for this, right? Other than deoxygenated and oxygen, you can write more carbon dioxide, less carbon dioxide. Or you can write more oxygen, less oxygen, like that. Right. Then next one, part 3. What is the name of the valve E? I'll write near the diagram itself the name of this valve. So the valve E will be right left side of your heart. You have bicuspid valve. Sometimes this is also called mitral valve. Now students, remember, now you have to, I will now this is what we are doing these days. I am doing grade 10 revision Sunday morning, right? So those, some of you are coming for that class also. Sunday morning grade 10 revision. Friday we are doing grade 11 revision. Saturday night paper class, I mean the model papers and prototype papers and support seminar papers, Saturday night. So therefore those who are coming for the grade 10 theory on Saturday morning, you can switch to the Sunday morning paper class if you want, because I started just the grade 11 first term work with those students, those who were in the grade 10 last year. Therefore you can switch, those who are already coming for the grade 10 theory class Saturday morning, you can switch to the Sunday morning grade 10 revision, then grade 11 revision and the paper class Saturday night, right? Because the last few weeks, so you have to do your maximum. Then next one, answer is what? Bicuspid valve. So between left ventricle and left auricle you have bicuspid valve. This is also called sometimes mitral valve. Bicuspid valve is also known as mitral valve. Mitral valve. Right. The next one, part 4. Part 4. I'll put a culvert, mitral valve. Describe briefly how the characteristics of lub and dub sound heard during the heartbeat are generated. So when heartbeats, how the lub and dub sound is produced. That's what they ask. So actually lub sound is produced due to the closing of bicuspid valve, and dub sound is produced due to the closing of semilunar valve. Lub tricuspid and bicuspid dub sound. So you have to write those two separately. Okay, let's see. I'll write those two separately. Lub sound, lub, right, due to the closing of bicuspid and tricuspid. Right here, when bicuspid and tricuspid valve close, closing of bicuspid, that is mitral valve, and tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. Then dub sound due to the closing of dub sound due to the closing of semilunar valve. Closing of semilunar valve. So I'll highlight those two separately. Lub, closing of tricuspid and bicuspid. Dub, due to the closing of semilunar valve. Next on part 5. ECG of part of the ECG is given here. Asking what is represented by T. You can see here that there are 3 parts here. P, number 1. Then you get number 2, this P, QRS. Number 1 is P, QRS number 2, and number 3 will be T. So this T represent contraction. Actually it's intervening. That means complete cardiac diastole. Relaxation of ventricles. Or we call it, there are different answers. You can write here intervening. INTERVENING. Or you can write, instead of that, you can write complete cardiac diastole. Complete cardiac diastole. Any of this accepted? Intervening, no. Relaxation of the ventricle, in other words. Then part 6. Heart muscles are weakened by the blocking of the blood vessels supply blood to them by blood clots. What is the name this alien condition is known as? Actually, this is called blocking of the blood vessels by blood clots, known as, yes, any volunteers? Yes, Dasula. Thrombosis. What is that called? Thrombosis. 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 Right. Then that's all this paper, the questions, and we had to start nervous system questions now. Sometimes we call it coronary. If the blood clot is formed in the coronary artery, we call it coronary thrombosis. Please raise the hand. Also, I still writing. This is completed from the heart and the blood circulation of blood. Anyone still writing? Please raise the hand. Done. Shall I read this? Okay. Then let's move on to the today's paper. I think only today. I think if someday you might have not got enough time to get a printout or hard copy, that's all right. You can just write revision unit 6 nervous system and endocrine system revision and put the question number and write the answer. Before I explain the answer, you may write the answer, right? Part 1. Any volunteers? Part 1. Which part helps to keep the balance of the body and relevant functions? Balancing of the body under which control? There are three main parts of the brain: cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla. So which part helps to balance the body? I'll ask the answer from Faiz, Manit, Dabla.
Cerebellum.
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 Third answer.
Very good. Answer is 3. Cerebellum. Cerebellum. Answer is 3. Very good. Question number 2. The part of the brain that controls the heartbeat. Actually, a heartbeat is involuntary. Heartbeat is involuntary. So involuntary actions controlled by. Please highlight this heartbeat, right? Involuntary. Heartbeat is not under our control. Heartbeat is not under our control. It's involuntary. So involuntary actions are under control of what? Which part of your brain controls involuntary actions? I'll ask the answer from Kavini, Arushi,
Medulla oblongata.
Chamati.
Fourth answer.
Medulla oblongata.
Very good. Answer is 4th. Medulla oblongata. Very good. Answer is 4th. Question number 3. The function performed by the motor neuron. Sometimes the people get motor neuron disease. Right? There's again a similar disease called muscular dystrophy. Muscular dystrophy. Parkinson. So these are some of the cannot be cured. Muscular dystrophy cannot be cured. It's linked with the nervous system, and then you get Parkinson. Cannot be cured. Motor neuron disease cannot be cured. Right. Any volunteers? Question number 3, the answer. Any volunteers? Third MCQ, the answer. I'll ask the answer from Manit, Dasula, Arosha.
Third
Third
answer.
answer.
Third answer.
Yeah, carries impulses from central nervous system towards the muscles. Yes, very good. Answer is 3. Right. So the motor neuron carries impulses from central nervous system towards the muscles, or in other words, muscles and the glands. Very good. Right. So that's the answer for the third MCQ. Answer is 3. Next one, question number 4. I'll erase the screen. Question number 4. Gray matter of the nervous system is made of. So this gray matter and white matter. Actually, gray matter contain cell bodies of the neuron, and white matter contain the nerve fibers. So if you take in the spinal cord, gray matter is inside. Gray matter contains cell bodies. Gray matter contains cell bodies. Okay. So please raise the hand those who got the second answer for this. Second answer, cell body is present. Gray matter contains cell bodies of the neuron. Very good. The next one, question number 5. Out of the statement, what is the correct regarding the mixed nerve? Please highlight the word mixed nerve. What is the meaning of mixed nerve? Mixed nerve means what? What is mixed nerve? Please put an arrow towards the mixed nerve and write mixed nerve means sensory neuron plus motor neuron. Please write everyone. Mixed nerve means sensory plus motor neuron. Both is together known as mixed nerve. Sensory plus motor together known as mixed nerve. Sensory towards the spinal cord, the CNS. Motor neuron away from the spinal cord or from the brain. So what is the best one which explain about mixed nerve? Mixed nerve carries impulses from sensory organs toward the central nervous system and away from the central nervous system. So who can give me the answer for the fifth MCQ? Any volunteers? Ash? Nasula? Mani? Arosha?
The answer, sorry, BB.
What about the others? Five?
Third answer.
Third answer. Yeah, answer is 3. C. Very good. Messages from the brain and spinal cord towards carries messages from the brain towards the relevant organ. No. Answer is not 3. Question number 5 I am asking. Because mixed nerve consists both sensory and motor. Sensory neuron carries impulses towards the brain and the spinal cord. Towards the spinal cord by sensory. Away from that, motor neuron. So then the answer is what? Only B, right? Carries messages from sensory organs towards CNS and then away from the central nervous system. Answer is B only. Answer is second. Right? Question number 5 answer is second, B only. Please raise the hand those who have underlined the second answer for this, B only. Question number 5. How many of you got the second answer? So it's B, right? Because it please highlight mixed nerve is it's combination of both these, sensory neuron plus motor neuron. Motor neuron away from the spinal cord and sensory neuron towards the spinal cord. Very good. How many of you got, okay, lower your hand. How many of you marked the third answer, C only? How many of you marked C only? Earlier some of you replied, I can remember the name. Only this. Very good, 5. So you have to be honest, like, because if you are raising that, then I'll explain a bit more. Otherwise you are like, you don't get this question. Now question number 6. What is the correct regarding sensory neuron? Sensory neuron. Now the sensory neuron, what actually sensory neuron carries impulses towards the CNS, or it collect information from the environment and they transfer that to the brain and the spinal cord. Messages from the environment or around us transferred towards the CNS or central nervous system. So what is the best answer for question number 6? Any volunteers? Question number 6, the answer? Ash? Tarushi? Avini? Roshi?
First answer.
First answer.
First answer.
Yeah, very good. Answer is first one. Very good. Excellent. Answer is first one. Now you can see, you can get questions from the nervous system like this. They'll give ABC statements and they can make it more complex if they want. Right, next one. Question number 7, who can give me the answer? Question number 7, any volunteers? 7th one. Ash, Manet, Asula, Arosha?
Fourth answer.
Yeah. Does not contribute to maintain the homeostasis. So this is very important. Does not contribute to maintain homeostasis. Answer is the skin. How it contribute and can you write under each how skin helps to which homeostasis means maintaining constant internal environment. What is homeostasis? Maintaining of constant internal environment. So which condition helps to maintain constant by the skin, which to maintain which one the skin help? That is the body temperature, right? Body temperature, kidney water level, pancreas blood glucose level. But human ear has no link with that. Please raise the hand those who got the fourth answer for this. Human ear, it has no connection with the homeostasis, but it will help for the coordination. Coordination, yes. Coordination, human ear will help. Eyes, all the sensory organs, including the skin. Right. Question number 7 answer is 4th. Question number 8. Shall I read the screen? Did you all finish copying down? Question number 8. I'll read the screen. 8th MCQ. Which of the following action is a spinal reflex? A spinal reflex. Which one is spinal reflex? Any volunteers who can give me the answer for the 8th MCQ? Same set of students raising the hand every time. Yes, Faiz. Kavini.
Third answer.
Third answer.
Third answer.
Yes.
Third answer.
Third answer.
Third answer.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Answer is 3. Answer is 3. Answer is 3 means what? Pulling the hand away immediately on contact with the hot object. Answer is 3rd. Answer is 3. It's a reflex action. Spinal reflex. Why it is called spinal reflex? That is not controlled by the brain. So these type of actions not under the control of the brain, because even without thinking this happens. Reflex action occurs even without thinking. Sudden response for a external change in the external environment. Okay, question number 9. Any volunteers? 9th MCQ. That's a good question. I'll ask the answer from Dasula, Rosha, Manik, Kavini.
First answer.
First answer.
First answer.
A and B. Okay, let's see. What about the others? Devish?
First answer.
First answer.
Yeah, very good. All of you are correct. Answer is first one, A and B only. Actually, it's like this. If you take balancing of the body by cerebrum, balance of the portion of the control by, they are asking the correct statement. Memory and thinking by cerebellum. Question number 9, I think there's a problem. Anyway, please raise the hand those who put the first answer. Is that first answer? What's up? We get the first answer. Balancing of the body by cerebellum, right? Not by cerebrum. Body temperature by hypothalamus, that's correct. Memory thinking, that is cerebrum. That's A and C wrong, right? A and C wrong? Okay, I'll put A is wrong. Not possible. B, the body temperature is controlled by hypothalamus, that's correct. Memory and thinking not by cerebellum, that's by cerebrum. Heartbeat and respiration controlled by cerebellum. That is also wrong, but it's by medulla. Then only correct statement. Body temperature by hypothalamus, correct. Memory thinking controlled by the cerebellum, wrong. Heartbeat and respiration controlled by cerebellum. That is by medulla. Only B is correct. There's no answer, right? Okay, please raise the hand those who got the, okay, those who can, I mean, did you all get the same answer? What is, answer is only B, there's no answer, only B, right? What is the answer you got, Arosha, Dasula, Kavini? What is the answer you got?
First answer.
First answer, sir.
First answer.
A also correct. Should be not cerebrum, cerebellum, right? Balancing and the posture of the body by cerebellum, not by cerebrum. How can become the first answer? Check your theory note. There's no answer here actually. You make it only then A, B only there. You omit A here. You make it B only. Then the answer is first one. Otherwise there's no answer. B only. What is the answer you got, Dilaj? Arosha? Anand? Kavini? Okay, wait. If you want to show the textbook, the not here. Okay, wait. I'll show this under nervous system. Okay, wait. The functions of the three main parts of the brain. Here, can you see the functions of this? Cerebellum, ne? Body balance by cerebellum. Medulla, involuntary actions. Vomiting, coughing, swallowing, heartbeat, respiratory movement. The cerebrum, you can see the functions. Your tongue, ears, eyes, all under control of cerebrum, because skin, pain, touch, pressure, your vision, speech, right? All this under this part, cerebrum. All the sensory organs under the control of cerebrum. Easy method, remember. Right? Understood? Answer is only function of cerebrum, body balance. Medulla, you can see involuntary one. Cerebrum also there one. Some voluntary muscle contraction, sometime you might have considered that, right? Right. Then question number 10. MCQ. Function controlled by the medulla. Medulla involuntary action, vomiting, sneezing, coughing, all these involuntary actions. What is involuntary? Heartbeat. Heartbeat under the control of medulla oblongata. Right. So body, if you only write about the others, vision by cerebrum, right? Vision by cerebrum. Cerebrum. Then this one, muscle movement and coordination by cerebellum. And maintaining body balance also by cerebellum. Answer is 3. Heartbeat involuntary. Question number 11. 11th MCQ. Dendrons of the motor neurons are present in the. So the dendrons means tiny branches arising from the cell body called dendrons. So any volunteers? Question number 11. 11th MCQ. Vice, Dasula, Manet, Arosha. Yeah, 11th MCQ. What is the answer?
First answer.
Sensory organs.
First answer.
Others. Manet.
First answer, effect organs.
Dasula. Arosha. What is the answer?
First answer.
Very good. Answer is dendrons of the motor neuron are present and central nervous system, sensory organ, spinal nerves. Actually, if you take, I'll show the diagram here that the neuron. Wait, I have the textbook. Look at this. If you take sensory, the 3 neurons here, sensory, motor, and interneuron. Three neurons. Yeah. They're not going to neuron. No? Here you can see this is the motor neuron. So always remember, okay, wait, I'll move back to the theory. What are the these dendrons and dendrites? So tiny branches arising from the cell body. These tiny branches arising from this one called dendrites. At the end of this you get dendrons, the nucleus, with the axon. So dendrons of motor neuron is present in the this tiny branch. So these are dendrons. So it's in the CNS, right? Within the brain and the spinal cord. Please raise the hand those who got the first answer for the 11th MCQ. Please raise the hand those who got the first answer for this 11th MCQ. How many of you got? Right, that is answer. Answer is first and effect. Central nervous system. Answer is second. Central nervous system. Brain and the spinal cord. Because cell body, no, dendrons are arising from cell body. Then the impulse travel away from the cell body. Right. Next one. But if you take the other neurons is different. So this motor neuron carries impulses away from the CNS, away from the spinal cord. Next one. So it brings signal to the motor neuron, actually this one. So I think most of you had to study the nervous system again. Right. Question number 12. What are the two parts of the central nervous system? Brain and the spinal cord. Central nervous system consists of brain plus spinal cord. Question number 12. Any volunteers? Reflex arc. What are the three neurons in the correct order? Question number 12. What is the answer? Manet, Faiz, Lonita, Dasula.
Third answer.
Third one.
Third
Yeah,
answer.
correct. Very good. Yeah, sensory neuron, then it's towards the spinal cord and then towards the motor neuron. That's very good. Answer is third. Very good. That is correct. Question number 13. What is the answer? 13th MCQ. What is this hormone? Young age, growing to the normal height when a hormone was injected continuously. So before the hormone is given, he is not growing tall. So what is this hormone? Any volunteers? Question number 13. Kemindi, Devish, Manet, Dasula.
First answer.
Very good. That is another term we use for the growth hormone. Can you all please write here? Somatotrophin is also used for the growth hormone. Somatotrophin within must write GH or growth hormone. GH or growth hormone is also known as somatotrophin. Question number 14. Man sitting up barking and dog start to run fast. You're running fast. A dog is running behind you. Which of the following hormone is secreted in the human body related to this incident? So that means when you get scared, when you get frightened, when you get extreme happiness, extreme sadness, under stress condition or under special condition, under stress condition or in an emergency situation, the which hormone level in your blood goes up? Yes, that is secreted by the gland just above the kidney. Any volunteers? Question number 14. Tirani,
Fourth answer.
Rohini, Moksha, Devesh,
Adrenaline.
Lonita.
Fourth answer.
Answer.
Fourth answer.
Fourth answer.
Very good. Very good. Answer is fourth. Adrenaline. So this adrenaline hormone is secreted by adrenal gland. By adrenal gland. Where do we find adrenal gland? Just above the kidney. Adrenal gland is present just above the kidney. Adrenal gland is present just above the kidney. Just above the right kidney and the left kidney. Then number 15. Physiological method that brings about the coolness of the human body. That means by the body itself, not by external effort. Cooling of the body naturally by the body itself. Question number 15. Any volunteers? I'll ask the answer from Venuka.
Fourth answer.
Fourth answer.
Fourth answer.
Fourth answer, sir.
Fourth
Fourth
answer.
answer.
Very good. Answer is fourth. To give out large quantity of food, sweat. No, large quantity, not food actually. It should be sweat. Cut the word food. A large quantity of sweat through the surface of the skin. Cut the word food. So the answer is fourth. You can't get the food through the skin. Because having a bath in cold water, drink in cold water, or eat small quantity, that is all like by ourselves or with our efforts. So the fourth one is involuntary. Okay. Then 16th MCQ, I'll erase the screen. 16th MCQ, function performed by sympathetic part. I'll highlight the word sympathetic part of the autonomic nervous system. Sympathetic, actually it's prepares your body for the emergency situation. Sympathetic nervous system, that's under autonomic nervous system or involuntary. So that is in case of an emergency. In an emergency, you get sympathetic. In an emergency situation, the sympathetic nervous system is acting, and what happened? What is the best answer for this? I'll ask the answer from question number 16. Rohini, Ais, Arosh.
First answer.
First answer.
First answer.
First answer.
First answer.
Right, accelerating the heartbeat, correct. That is part of the sympathetic nervous system. Blood pressure, heartbeat rate increases by the sympathetic nervous system. Very good answer is first one, correct. Right. All the others like opposite actually. Others by the parasympathetic nervous system. Question number 17. Which of the following is not a characteristic of hormone? Not underlined, not a characteristic of hormone. About human hormone. Not a characteristic. I'll ask the answer for the 17th one. Yes. I'll ask from Dasula. I'll ask the answer from Kavini, Venuka, Faiz, Arosha, Ash, Rohini.
Second answer.
Second answer.
Some of you give fourth answer, some of you second answer. Not a characteristic.
Second answer.
Very good answer is second. Hormones will never act at the same site of production. Right? So most of the, in animal hormones, in humans, the hormone, they are produced at one place and action at another place. That means site of action is different from the site of production. I'll give one example. Insulin from the pancreas, the production site, but the targeted organ of insulin is liver. Target organ. So produced by the insulin is produced by a pancreas. It's actually insulin hormone produced by pancreas, but the target organ is liver. So who connect the message, convey the message between the these two? So that is the hormone, chemical messenger. Chemical messenger. Now when the exam is closed, you have to pay more attention to the, because before that we did many papers. I read the questions under this electronics and electromagnetism and all. But I'll be doing a revision of that also. But anyway, when the exam is closed, these biology lessons you have to go through again, because it's kind of memorizing. You can easily forget it. Question number 18. Select the correct answer giving the hormone and the relevant function. Hormone and the relevant function, the correct one. Yes, any volunteers? Question number 18. 18th MCQ, any volunteers? Dasula? Arushi?
Second answer.
Second answer.
Kavini?
Second.
answer.
Second answer.
Yeah, many of you, second answer. Yes. Actually, the correct one is adrenaline prepares the body for an emergency. Very good. Answer is second. Very good. Excellent. Those who done this before me, answer is second. Similar one I told before also. Then question number 19. Question number 19 from endocrine glands that secrete glucagon and calcitonin in the human body are respectively. Glucagon by pancreas, right? Calcitonin by thyroid. Pancreas by human pancreas. This glucagon hormone by pancreas. Calcitonin by, to reduce the calcium level in your blood, that is by thyroid. Please raise the hand those who got the first answer for this. Question number 19, first answer. Please, how many of you got the first answer? Question number 19. Pancreas and thyroid. So it's there in the textbook also. Nothing new. Answers. Now last MCQ. 20th one. Coordination of the movement and the equilibrium of the body by maintained by, yeah, that is 2019 O level 9th MCQ. Yes, what is the best answer out of this 20th one? Coordination and equilibrium of the human body. I'll ask the answer from Chamuti, Tirani, Donita, Sadaham.
First answer.
Cerebellum.
Answer.
First answer.
Answer cerebellum.
First answer.
First answer.
Yeah, very good answer, cerebellum. Now you can count the number of right ticks and put on the front page or here itself at the end of this 20th one. How many correct out of these 20 MCQs? Please raise the hand those who got 18 or above out of this 20. That means your biology knowledge is really good. At least 18 MCQs correct before discuss. How many? Only 80 students. So Arosha, Faiz, Lasula, Adib, Avani, Anjana, Kavini. Yeah, okay. Now 18 over, very good. If you have 18 over, it's really good, because your nervous system is working well, right? That's what I can say. Now please raise the hand those who got between 15 and 17, like 17, 15 and 17, including 15 and 17. Yes. How many of you got 15 or above? Right, there's a lot. Very good. Okay, right. Therefore, my advice: don't wait until you finish everything, until you finish studying everything to do the papers. You go to now. Here's one example. We are doing like 2 hours for 2 days the paper class now. Now this system lesson. So after studying the system lesson, any system, you have to go through all the past vocations of last 5 years at least from the system lesson. So imagine you are studying only the digestive system. So then digestive system related questions in last 5 years papers, Western province papers and or provincial papers or whatever. So you have to answer many questions possible until you get together confidence. Right? Say acid based lesson, you have to practice many questions after studying that. No point of just reading the note like a newspaper every lesson now. It's not practical. We have nearly 3 more weeks. So around 20 days, 9 subjects. Right? So it's less than 2 days per subject now. Therefore, these days time equal marks. Time equal marks. Even when you are going to the toilet, you should better study now. Don't be in an imaginary world all the other free times. Even whenever you get a free time, even after the class when you are going to the bed, recall what I have taught today, any important things that you will have learned. Or you will not do the same mistake again then only you will improve. Just by collecting the answers for the questions, you will not improve. Remember that. Just by collecting the answers for many papers, you will not improve. The teacher will improve. Right. Then let's move to the next part. Okay, if you have got 15 above, it's really good. If you have got less than 15 out of 20, you check which ones are, mostly you have got from which lesson. So you have to refer that lesson. That's it. Right. Then I'll erase this. Let's move to the next part. And the other thing is, remember, if you get like a nervous system or any other system MCQs, you will not get much SSO structure. This is from that same lesson, right? Okay, now this is again from nervous system. They have given the 3 neurons here. Right, let's see the answers now. Who can give me the answer for the part 1? Write the relevant letters for each of the following. Relevant letters for each of the, yeah. What is the functional unit of the nervous system? That is actually, they have not given here the letter. It's W, X, Y, Z, because W is missing. Can you put W in front of the first diagram, the whole diagram, like here W. Wait, I'll highlight this. W is missing. So I wrote that. X, Z and Y. These are the 4 letters they have given at the top. W, X, Y, Z. So we'll take W is missing. So I'll write W below the first diagram. W I'll write below the first diagram. Now who can tell me the answer of the part 1? Functional unit of the nervous system. Functional unit of the nervous system. Yes, I'll highlight this. Functional unit of the nervous system. Yes, any volunteers? I'll ask the answer from Dasula, Tarushi, Rohini, Ronita, Kavit. Yes?
W. Reflex
W. W.
W.
Yeah, it's W. Very good answer is W. 1 letter answer W. Very good. That is the reflex arc. So it consists of 3 neurons. They have labeled that A, B, C, D, right? A, B, C, A, B, C. So there are 3 neurons in the correct sequence. You have to remember in the reflex arc. The next one. Answer the following questions by using the letters given in the diagram. Yeah. Name the structures which act as B out of X, Y, Z. So which one act as B out of X, Y, Z given? What is B here? Interneuron. Interneuron. Out of this, which neuron is interneuron? Or intermediate neuron that is found entirely within the spinal cord or in the gray matter. So first label ABC. A represents sensory neuron because it begins from the receptor. Please write this corner everyone, then you can easily combine. So here this side capital A represents sensory neuron because it begins from the sensory and sensory organ. Since it begins from sensory organ, therefore it's sensory neuron. Then next one, B will be what? That is interneuron. Interneuron. What is C here? Motor neuron. Then you have to compare that with the other side. Right? So now, which one match with Y here? Y will be Y equals to capital A. So Y is sensory. How do you know? Cell body is in the middle. In sensory neurons, the cell body is in the middle, not at the corner. Then what is here? Interneuron. So this is equal to interneuron is B, right? Yeah, B. Right. Then what is the remaining one? X, ne? X is the So Y is A, Z is for B, C is motor neuron disease. That is. Right, that's all. So then you got the answer, right? Or you can write the name in front of each neuron. So how do you easily identify the sensory neuron? Like that cell body is in the middle. And what is the first one? Name the structure which act as B out of XYZ. Which one act as B out of XYZ? B is interneuron. Interneuron is represented by Z. Answer is A. Please raise the hand those who got Z for this one. Is it right? Then neuron which transmit impulses to the CNS from the receptor. Who transmit from the receptor to CNS impulses? Yeah, from central nervous system to the EMF. Who can give me the answer? I'll ask the answer from yes. Dasula, what is the answer for this? 5? Samuti?
X.
Why?
Why? Some of you are in Y, some of you are in X. Transmit impulses to the CNS. I think because we are getting different answers. Okay, highlight here. Transmit towards the CNS. Right? Towards the central nervous system. Which neuron carry signals or impulses away from this? I mean, towards this. Impulses towards the brain and the CNS from the receptor. That is sensory neuron. Answer is capital A. Please raise the hand those who got capital A for this. Part 3, the answer capital A. Raise the hand. Alright, very good. Very good. So that is sensory neuron. Sensory neuron carries impulses from receptor towards central nervous system. Part 4, I'll erase the screen. Neuron which transmits impulses to the central nervous system from the receptor. That we did, right? That is sensory neuron. Then part B, from the brain. They are given a diagram to label. Of the P, Q and R, which one controls the process such as heartbeat and respiration? Highlight the word heartbeat and respiration. Heartbeat and respiration by what? Involuntary actions. Involuntary actions are under the control of medulla oblongata. That is capital R here. What is the answer? R. That is medulla. Medulla oblongata. That's right, done. Next one, name P and state the advantage of the folded nature of its surface. What is P here? Any volunteers? What is P? Any volunteers? What is P and REM? Give me the function. Dasula. Guys. Venuga. Raj. Manet. I'm asking the answer for the part 2. Yes.
Cerebrum.
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 Very good. Name P. P will be cerebrum. 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 And they are asking what is the advantage of folded nature of the surface of this part? P equal cerebrum. Now the question, that there's one more part. Advantage of the folded nature. Yes, what is the advantage of folded nature? I'll ask the answer from Lonita, Manet, Vice, Dasula. What is the function of the folded nature? Can't hear. Any volunteers? Lonita, Manet, Faiz, Dasula? One is replying.
Control high functional activities.
No, they're asking the folded nature and its of its surface. What is the advantage? Advantage of the folded nature. Common sense. Still, Chamuti, what is the answer?
Increase its surface area.
Very good. That's the answer. To increases the surface area. To increase surface area. Is that clear? To increase surface area. Surface area. Next part. Name two structures that protects the brain. Who can give me the answer for the part 3? What are the structures that protects your brain? Any volunteers? Rasula, Afan, Manet.
The skull and the three-layered mining.
Spinal fluid.
Menins and cerebrospinal fluid.
Cerebrospinal fluid. And the
Ask it
skull.
two structures. Yes, what else? Tarushi? There are 3. So look at this. One part will be the skull here. So two structures, there are two structures that protects the brain. One is skull. The other one? One will be the skull. The other one, meninges. Third one will be cerebrospinal fluid. CE cerebro. Cerebrospinal fluid. Actually, cerebrospinal fluid is most important one here. Others can easily get it. The skull, meninges, that is between the meninges, there's a liquid medium. That is what we call is cerebrospinal fluid. This time the support center paper also they have asked this question price. Cerebrospinal fluid, meninges and the skull. You write only 2 of this, not everything. Right. I'll erase the screen. Next one. Shall I erase this? Next one. Reflex actions are important. Actions are generated without voluntary. Yeah. Reflex action involuntary. Reflex action definitely is involuntary. So, state a reflex action related to the spinal cord. Who can tell me a reflex action example related to the spinal cord? In the tutor also I have given previous one examples. Yes, I'll ask the answer from Rice. Ash.
Moving the hand away from
Withdrawing leg when step on something. Ricky?
Yeah, you have to give the same idea. Like I think yeah, most of you gave the same idea. So that means what? Withdrawing the hand when contact with hot object. Withdrawing the hand when contact with hot object. Withdrawing the leg when step on a throne. Reflex action. Sneezing, yawning also reflex action. Hiccup. Then using only words arrows indicate the reflex arc relevant to the reflex action you stated above. So example say withdrawing the hand when contact with hot object, I'll write. So you get the skin or the heat or the pain. So you can write the pain or the input. Then that is transferred towards the sensory neuron. What is that? Using words, only words and arrows. Indicate reflex are relevant to the reflex action you saw. Yeah, pain, you can get the receptor, that is the skin. From the skin you get sensory neuron, the send the impulse. After that, interneuron. After that, motor neuron. After that, effector. After that, response. Is that clear? So you feel the pain to your skin, or maybe the touch or pressure or anything you are. The skin is a receptor. Sensory neuron transmit impulses towards the brain, towards the sensory neuron, towards from the receptors towards the relevant part. The interneuron within the spinal cord, completely within the spinal cord. If you can write that, interneuron is completely 100% inside the CNS. Then motor neuron. Motor neuron carries impulses towards the effector. Effector gives a signal to repeat that, to make the response. Right. So this order you should know if they ask in the exam to write. They can imagine if some there are many examples like this. So response will be what? Withdrawing the hand. So effector, don't write effector here. You have write the what is the effect here? Muscles of the hand. Don't write effector, right? You have write which effector, because they have given the situation. You are writing that for the example. You can write the muscles of the hand. Muscles of the hand. And the response will be withdrawing the hand. Withdrawing the hand. So what is the order again? You feel the pain to your skin. From the skin there will be a signal towards your brain by the sensory neuron. So inside the spinal cord of the brain you have the interneuron. Interneuron interconnect with what? Sensory to motor. Motor neuron carries impulses towards the sensory organ, towards the effectors like muscles and glands, and after that withdrawing the hand or the leg from that object or whatever this flame or whatever. So immediately without thinking. So if you think and if you're going to take the decision, to take longer time, then damage is more. That's why it's like, instant, like, you don't have time to think. So that's the first question. Question number 2, I'll erase the screen. Right. So this is from, look at the screen. This is from, again, endocrine system. You are given list of hormones here. Who can give me the answer for the part 1? Part 1. Any volunteers? Any volunteers? Part 1. Dasula, Ash,
Pituitary.
Amati, Anand, Ash.
Pituitary gland.
Yeah, very good. Just below hypothalamus, you have pituitary gland. Very good. You can mark with the red pen your answers. Pituitary gland. Right. Pituitary gland. I'll highlight this. The next one. Write down in correct sequence the gland that secrete calcitonin and estrogen, and state the main function each hormone is in the correct sequence. Yeah. That's calcitonin, and you have to mention the gland, and you have to mention the function. So you have to write, say, gland. You can write thyroid. Thyroid will be the gland. What is the hormone? to reduce the calcium level, calcitonin. Gland, thyroid secrete calcitonin. What is the function? Reduces the calcium level in blood. Reduce the calcium level in blood. I'll use the white background. The next one, if you write what is the other hormone given here? Estrogen. Estrogen secreted by ovaries. So what is the role of the estrogen by the ovaries? Hormone. Who can give me the answer for this one? Any volunteers? Manet, Dasula, what is the role of estrogen secreted by the ovaries?
Production of secondary sex characteristics of females.
Control the secondary sex characteristics of females. Anyone else?
Accurate sexual characteristics of female.
Yeah. Very good. Control the secondary sex characteristic of females. Correct. The next one. What is the gland? Okay, that is done. I'll erase this. Next one. Correct signals gland secrete the estrogen. Yeah, that we did know. Yeah, the next one. What is the gland that secrete hormone which convert glucose to glycogen? It's a very popular question. Which hormones convert glucose to glycogen? Hormone they ask the name. Yes, any volunteers for this? A very simple question. Part 3A. Who controls the blood glucose level? Which hormone? Actually, there are two hormones. One hormone convert glucose to glycogen. The other hormone convert glycogen to glucose. Reverse. So first one, like from glucose to glycogen. What is the hormone? Yes, any volunteers? Manet, Venika, Dasula,
Insulin hormone. Insulin hormone.
Suran.
Insulin.
Yeah, very good. Answer is insulin. Very good. Excellent. Insulin. What hormone? Insulin hormone. So what is the opposite of this? Glucagon. That opposite. Breaking down of the stored glycogen. Glucose to glycogen by insulin. Glycogen to glucose to glycogen by insulin. Then glycogen to glucose again. Returned by the glucagon hormone. Glycogen to glucose. When you are fasting, glucagon important. When you are fasting, glucagon important. It will give signal to this one to release this. Then opposite of this, if you imagine you are fasting, that is glucagon. Immediately after meals, blood glucose level can increase. So which hormone prevent this rise in the blood glucose level beyond the limit? Insulin. Immediately after meals, insulin. When you are fasting, glucagon. Write that if you want in your short notebook. When fasting or if you skip a meal, what happens? That glucose level should be maintained constant. That is called homeostasis. So that more glucose is released to blood from the storage in the liver as glycogen is stored form, that is broken down back to glucose. So then glucose to glycogen opposite. Glucose to glycogen immediately after meals. When you are fasting, glycogen to glucose. Fasting, glycogen to glucose. Breaking down of glycogen back to glucose when you are fasting. If you take a heavy meal, immediately after meals, opposite. Immediately after meals, opposite. What happens? Excess glucose becomes glycogen. When you are fasting, glycogen, glucose. After meals, glucose to glycogen. It's very important to regulate blood glucose level in man. What are the organs which helps in the regulation of blood glucose level? One is liver. The other one pancreas. Pancreas, that is to secrete hormones. Liver, that is for the storage of carbohydrate. Why I am explaining this much? It's bit important. It is bit important. Upcoming papers. Regulation of body temperature, regulation of water level in the, so this one's very important. Right. Let's move on. Part, what is the, who can give a part one? What is the answer? In which organ in the body the glycogen is mainly stored? That is in the liver. Glycogen is mainly stored in the liver. That's liver. Right. Previous one, pancreas. So I'll write the answer in front of the each word the sentence. So this one you have write pancreas. This one you have liver. See whether you have the correct answer. Your pancreas, your liver only. Next one. What is the disease due to the non-secretion of that hormone? Pancreas secrete insulin. Pancreas secrete insulin. They ask what happens if that insulin is stopped. Part C, what is the answer? Any volunteers? Part C? Diabetics, nothing else. Diabetics, so high glucose level. Or you can write high blood glucose level. High blood glucose, so high blood glucose level, that is called diabetics. That is the disease, name of the disease. Next one. Last part. Write two features of the hormones secreted by the glands stated above. Two features of the hormones secreted by these glands. So any hormone, like we have done a major characteristics of underline here, features of the hormone. So number one, all the hormones are organic. All the hormones are organic. What else? There is effective at low concentration. They are organic substances. They are produced at one place, produced at one site and act at different site. Production as one at one site and action on another side. That means site of action is different from the site of production. Hormones, they are organic. They are required in a small amount. Anyway, only one is in, they are asking two features of form. They travels in the blood. There's no travels in blood. If travels in the blood, produce at one site and act at another site. They are effective at low concentration. I am not writing everything here. You can write any two. Effective at low concentration. Right. Then question number 3, next page. So again, the regulation of blood glucose level in a different form. Name the hormone X and Y in the chart A. X is secreted when blood glucose level goes up. So what is X here? Actually this hormone X will be insulin. Hormone X will be insulin. Insulin. It's insulin. Then when blood glucose level goes down, secretion of the hormone Y. What is that? What is the hormone Y? When blood glucose level goes down, that is glucagon. That's how you do it. It's very easy. Again, I'll write. Okay, that way also you can write to the other side. Now, secretion of hormone X. When it goes up, insulin. When blood glucose level goes up, insulin is secreted. That means X is insulin. When blood glucose level goes down, Y is secreted. That is glucagon. That's how you easily decide. So name the hormone X and Y I have already done. No need to write again. X is insulin, Y is glucagon. Name the glands which secrete X and Y and its location. So actually by pancreas. Pancreatic gland secrete this. Now, location of pancreas. What is the location of pancreas? Just above this and just below this. So actually it's pancreas is like at the in front of the duodenum, just below the stomach, at the entrance of this duodenum. That is a C-shaped curve. Pancreatic gland. We have only one pancreas, not like kidney. Okay. The next one, name the disease caused due to the lack of hormone X, high blood sugar. If you don't have enough insulin after meals, you have to get insulin injections. Some diabetic patients, after every meal, they have to inject insulin sometime during the pregnancy period or like old people. So because blood glucose level cannot be controlled by the body, so it's out of order or something else, then you have to do this artificially. Otherwise, it can cause death. Name the disease cause. Yeah, what is the answer? High blood sugar or diabetics? High blood glucose, so high blood sugar. We can write diabetics. Next one. Write the function of each hormone X and Y in relation to the glucose level. Yeah, what is the function of X? X you can write what? The function of X, convert glucose to glycogen. X convert glucose to glycogen. And the other one is Y. Y converts what? Glycogen back to glucose. Look at the diagram. Y breaks down is not glycogen. That is glycogen to glucose. Is that clear? Don't mix up glucagon and glycogen. Don't mix up glucagon and glycogen. Part 2a. State whether the secretion of ADH increase or decrease in the following instance. When water level goes up, so there will be less ADH because ADH the function is to increase the reabsorption. When water level goes of blood goes up, more ADH is secreted. And more ADH and reabsorption of water. Okay, screen I'm writing. Less ADH. You have more ADH. Therefore, other than excretion, what is the other function of your kidney? Regulation of water level. When water level goes up, more insulin. When water level blood goes down, less water. That's all now. Remember the antidiuresis hormone, like it's very important. Otherwise, how can you control the water level in your body? Shall I erase the screen? Did anyone look up and down? Done? You mentioned the X and Y separate, right? Next question. Right, next one. When water level goes down, which process in the nephron helps the regulation of water level? That is reabsorption, selective reabsorption of water. Reabsorption of water. Right, the last question. A person scared by snapping a dog start running. Which two systems to the electrical and chemical coordination relevant to this? Which two systems to the electrical and chemical coordination relevant to this? Which two systems? Who can give me the answer for the part 1? Yes, any volunteers? Yes. Nasula? Mane? What about
Sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
guys? What about the others part 1?
Nervous and endocrine system.
Nervous and endocrine. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Anyone else? Any other alternative answer other than this? Yes? Actually, nervous system and endocrine system are not sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and parasympathetic, and yeah, mainly like electrical coordination by nervous system, chemical coordination by endocrine system. Right here, nervous system and endocrine system. Nervous and endocrine system. Nervous system and endocrine system. Chemical coordination by endocrine system, electrical coordination by nervous system. Part 2. Using the relevant parts in figure 2, write schematically using arrows the connection from receptor to the effector in the system relative. Yes, part 2, how to write the answer. Part 2, yes, any volunteers? I'll ask the answer from Arosha, Anit. Yes, what is the answer? You can write here. Now dog is running behind you. What is the receptor? Your eyes. Receptor your eyes. After that, it goes to the cerebrum. Remember, your eyes under the control of what? Your eyes under the control of the largest part of your brain, the cerebrum. All these sensory organs under the control of cerebrum. Your tongue, your skin, your eyes, your ears, and your nose. Nose, tongue, eyes, ears, and the skin. They all under the control of cerebrum. That is the largest part of your brain. In your cerebrum, there's a part responsible for your voice or your speech. There's a part responsible for your vision, smell. Even COVID-19, one symptom is what is called Omicron. Sorry, the previous and Delta variant and all these except Omicron, but they don't feel the smell. COVID or Corona. It's one sign. Symptom. You can easily identify that whether you have got it. You don't feel any taste because this virus can attack the nervous system. So what after eye, what is that? It's cerebrum. From the eye there will be a signal to the cerebrum. From cerebrum to the spinal cord. From spinal cord to the muscles. Why muscles? To release more energy by mitochondria, to run fast with a rapid contraction relaxation. Muscles of the upper arm or hand. Not hand actually, muscles of the leg, sorry. Muscles of your leg, then you can run fast. Not the hand also, yes, muscles of the hand and leg because you are using both. You can write just muscles. Skeletal muscles. Then you run fast, rapidly contracts and relax. Right. Number 3. State one function carried out by the adrenal gland in relation to the coordination process. Adrenal gland. What is the function of adrenal gland? Secretion of adrenaline hormone. Adrenal gland in relation to the coordination process secrete adrenaline hormone. Answer is secretion of adrenaline hormone. Write the answer for the last part. Secretion of adrenaline hormone. That is the function of the adrenal gland. Right. So that's all this paper. nervous system and endocrine system. Now remember the grade 11, there are some important parts I will be discussing in upcoming, like especially the questions from the biosphere lesson, because you are getting a compulsory question. All these the last few years, the older past papers, the structurally safe first question I'll be discussing next week. Next Friday I'll be discussing all this, because it's structurally first question compulsory. Right? There's no choice. You don't get in essays the 15th lesson completely under structured essay. Unit 50. Therefore, I'll discuss that next week. And the important parts I'll be discussing. And next month also you'll be having classes until your oral exam. And also obtaining the name card before name code. Name code is valid for the seminar also. Remember that name code is valid for the seminar. No need to pay separately for the seminars, but outsiders I'll inform how the procedure, right, to your WhatsApp group. But in here I don't take more than 100 students for the seminar. Maximum 100. Right. Then next one I'll read this. Now let's see the question. There are few questions at the end of this textbook exercise from the system lesson. Right. I don't know how many of you have done this before, but anyway. What is the answer for the question number 5 part A? Name the neuron which involved in the peripheral nervous system. Controlling the heartbeat, controlling swallowing, controlling the functions of the voluntary muscles. Actually, not the neuron, actually you have to write the part of the brain for this. The neuron. Name the neurons which involve in the peripheral nervous system. I think they have given the name the neuron which involve in the peripheral system. They have, this is a problem question. And what is the subsystem of the autonomous system? Okay, we'll start from the beginning. Please raise the hand those who done this in school. The exercise, have you all done this in school? Please raise the hand. If so, no need. A few of you, right? I think this the first few questions we discussed, right? And then no need. Okay, most of you have done, right? It's a few. Right. Now this also, wait, your Saturday night paper class, tomorrow night paper class, I'll be discussing this. So those who are definitely have to join the paper class also Saturday, because this will be more important, because we are doing the this is what we are planning to do next few weeks. Grade 11 paper class. This paper we are going to discuss the remaining questions, and biology questions, prototype paper, and chemistry, the remaining questions of these three papers. Plus how many of you have got Western Primes paper, the third term test marks? Please raise the hand from the school. Please raise the hand those who got the Western Primes, the term test paper, the marks from the school. Those who had done the Western Primes third term paper, how many of you got the marks? Not any students. Okay, this time Western Primes paper, everyone should go through the paper again, because that is really important for this time oral batch. Because that you will can get almost parallel questions to that, right? Similar questions you can get in the oral paper. Please raise the hand. This time Western Prize paper, those who got more than 75 marks, 75 or above. Western Prize paper this time 75 or above. Please raise the hand those who got 75 or above. Only about 6 students raised the hand. Right, good. Very good. Okay, if you have got 75 or above, like without copy in front of you, then it's really good. You can definitely go because mostly the Western Prize paper is a bit harder than the oral paper. And now raise the hand those who got from 65 to 74. Please raise the hand those who got from 65 to 74. Western Prize paper, third term test. Only 5, 6 students, 6, 7 students. Right, very good. Right. That means you are like B, because remember 74 marks means B, 73 B. So therefore you have to make an effort. You can definitely go for A pass. Those who are in 16 Western Prize paper, you can go definitely for A pass if you really work hard next few weeks. Now raise the hand, please, those who have got 50 to 64. How many of you got 50 to 64? That is C grade. Western Prize paper. Each section about 6 students, right? Okay. Now please ask the paper also from the school. Anyway, I am planning to discuss that paper. I have already shared with your WhatsApp group paper class. So the structural essay type paper, I'll be discussing that most probably tomorrow. I don't know how many of you have. Please raise the hand those who have discussed the paper in the school with marks. Those who have discussed the entire paper in the school. How many of you? Western Prize paper after obtaining marks, after marks. So then the teachers in the school also discuss this paper, provincial paper this time. Only 2 is 2. Okay, then don't worry. I will discuss this tomorrow. Now next week, the structured essay paper I'll discuss tomorrow. And I'll share with your WhatsApp group. Those who are from the private schools and international schools, you will be you might have not done this. Therefore, I will share the other 2 papers also with your group. And Friday night, I will be discussing MCQ and the essay type paper. Because anyway, there's a choice now. You might have not answered all 5 questions, all 5 essays. Only 3 out of the 5 essays. So then I will discuss all 5 questions because similar questions you can get. Now remember children, now your exam is very close. This coming days, so it's very critical, very important. I told you several times. So this is the time to boost your energy. Don't sleep more than 6 hours. Maximum 6 hours sleep. And every day you have to plan the day morning. Not like your traditional method or the way that you are used to do it now not going to work. Every day you have to plan it. You should have a target, and before you go to sleep you have to check whether you have done everything what you planned in the morning. Example, imagine you are planning this part. Imagine now you can write every subject, you can write the list of the things. Okay, I mean these are the areas I should. Now when you look at the marks of the Western Prize paper, and if you get the paper, if the teacher return the paper to you, then you can check which questions you have got mostly wrong, which MCQs you got from which lessons you got mostly wrong. Then you have to study that part. So those areas you have to write separately. Okay, current electricity lesson, this part I have to study, or chemical calculation, this part week, or separation technique, okay, distillation and chromatography, okay, I have to study. Like that you have to prepare the list of the things that you have to study, because you have 50 to 60% marks. So nearly like 10-15% you need to add. For that you have to identify those areas, and you have to plan within next 3 weeks I'll cover up that and increase my marks, improve my marks from 60 to 70. Definitely you can do it. So my advice, after studying that lesson, you have to answer some practice questions. Just by reading the note not enough. You imagine you want to revise, say, electrochemistry lesson or electrochemical cell part. So you go through quickly the note or the textbook note and you answer some questions from that and explore. You can prepare a short note. Then you can put, okay, tomorrow I will do that part. Then again next day also morning you have to plan. So then you have to, whatever you have to cover, so you within next 3 weeks you can plan out. So you should have a timetable, because coming days, so it's a lot of holidays, Ramazan, then May Day, 1st of May, it's a public holiday, and Monday also public holiday, no school, right? So therefore until Tuesday is holidays. So therefore let the others to go wherever they want, the family members, but you have to 100% you have to pay attention to this. Even while you are eating, recall the digestive system. Every minute, don't let anything else to enter your mind. Every day, even when you are eating, imagine, I'll give one example. While you are eating, recall the digestion of food. Every day you are eating 3 meals, right? So in every meal you can recall, okay, now the starch carbohydrate becoming maltose inside my mouth by salivary amylase, then the food is going to the stomach, and then it's pepsin and convert protein into polypeptides, and then so in the small intestine or duodenum, you can recall every day. When you recall like this, then no need to spare separate time for that digestive system. Imagine every day you are going to the toilet, then you can recall about the urinary system, excretory system. So then like that you can manage time, right? You can manage time. So the memorizing part you have to do like that. No need to separate like calculation, you don't need to do in studying biology. And please go through the optic lesson again. I'll discuss optic lesson. Definitely I'll do a revision next Friday. I forgot to tell that. I'll send the paper soon. Within next 2 days I'll send the paper. Optic lesson I'll do a revision, because you might have forgotten now ray diagrams, lenses, mirrors, and all these properties of the ray diagram, images and all. You have to revise this again, right? And inheritance lesson, important for the essay type questions. And unit 14 reproduction lesson, unit 13 classification lesson, important. Grade 10 biology for the essays and structured essays. Classification, reproduction lesson, and inheritance lesson, grade 10. And the grade 10, the activities under each lesson, practicals, important. You will be getting more from the grade 10 work for the structured essay paper this time. O-level paper structures, you'll be getting more from the grade 10 work. Compulsory questions more from grade 10. Right? So therefore you have to pay attention to the activities and the practicals given in the grade 10 textbook. At least read the materials and the procedure and the observation and all this. Right? So that's pretty important. And essay type questions in chemistry, hydrocarbon lesson, electrochemistry lesson, chapter 12, and separation technique. Recently they asked even fractional distillation, steam distillation, simple distillation, chromatography, solvent extraction, salt industry, iron extraction, downcell sodium extraction, salt industry, sodium extraction, iron extraction. Important for the essays. You better prepare the list of the things like this. I don't know, are you copying on these things? Essay types chemistry, essay types biology. I gave now a lot of things, right? So what to study, because you are getting more questions from those areas. And biosphere lesson, next one. Optic lesson and the biosphere lesson. Now I have discussed some past paper questions also. Last 5 years you have 5 years papers, 2000 to 2016. From 2016 to 2020, last 5 years, structured essay first question. 16 oral paper is structured, only the first question. You do this at home. Before the next class I will discuss the questions, some important parts of this, but not everything. Last 5 years structured essay first question, because you are definitely getting 100% confirm. Structured essay question number 1 complete from the biosphere lesson unit 15. Structured essay unit grade 11 unit 15, from unit 15. Structured essay first question. And then last 5 years Western prize papers, structured essay first question, third term test. Then you will be fully okay with what? Nothing to study. When you answer 5 years papers, Western prize papers and the oral pass papers, structured first question. Allocate that 1 day for this. Then you will be fully okay with, because no need to study the 15th lesson biosphere lesson in detail. So don't read like a clerk now. No point of just reading the theory note these days. You do many questions, and refer the note, refer the marking scheme. Learn it by doing it, because you don't have time to do separately the theory and to answer questions. You don't have time now, right? Therefore you have to look at the question, and if you can't remember anything, you can refer the note and do it. Then you are doing questions, theory and everything together, because you don't have time. Because 9 subjects, only about 20 days, right? 20 days, now nearly 2 days per subject. So these days maximum 6 hours sleep enough, at least from 10:30 to 5:30 maximum. You have to get up by 5:30 and you have to go to sleep after 10:30. So therefore you have to target A pass for science, maths. If you are in IT, if you are doing commerce, and if you are in English literature, English anyway, most probably you will get A. Main subjects you have to target A pass. No point of getting even 7 A's if you don't get A for maths and science. And remember, the out of these 6 main subjects, out of the main subjects, core subject, last year all papers had a subject of science paper. And many students also are getting 8 A's and 1 B for either English literature or B for either IT or like mostly the science. Last 2 years. Remember, don't do careless mistakes. Read the question twice before you write the answer. Especially if you are losing marks frequently, like not due to the subject knowledge, due to the careless mistakes, then you have to avoid that. Otherwise, you will lose more marks because of these careless mistakes. Right. So I'll give some guidance next day, because its time is now almost 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock now. Next week I'll be discussing the Friday night class, the optic lesson, some questions, and then if you have any other suggestions you can send through the WhatsApp. So this part if you revise, so then majority if you have section to revise, let me know, then I'll discuss that in the Friday class, because Saturday night paper class anyway doing there, we are doing these papers, right? And Java zone, this chemistry support seminar, physics support seminar, and biology support seminar, and then next month will be anyway I'll be doing 3 seminars and get some guest speakers. I specialize in these 3 areas, right, for the seminar. Right, okay, then work hard. Nothing is possible, nothing is impossible, and never to give up. Nothing is impossible and never to give up. You can definitely achieve your targets. Work hard, your commitment and dedication more important than your talent, right? So therefore you can definitely get good results, especially science you have to get A, because with this COVID situation more challenges, but anyway you can do it, right? Okay, then we'll stop for today. Good night and God bless you.